Yu awoke to a day like all the others of his young life. The air was scented with mold and smoke. Dark clouds hovered over the pale gray village. Yu heard the drumming of raindrops on the roof. But on this morning, Yu's face was dampened only by the moisture of his own salty tears. Yu's father, Gun, was dead. After many years of trying to save the people from the floodwaters of the Huang River, his father had been defeated. Yu's life could never be the same. Yu remembered how his father had once described the river. The soils from the hills of China had turned the river's water yellow. Gun explained that was why it was called Huang, or Yellow River. Gun also told his son that one day, long ago, the skies had broken open. For the next 22 years, it never stopped raining. After the river overflowed its banks, the people had to move to the mountains to survive. Food was scarce, and the people of China suffered terribly. Gun took charge. Although he built dikes and ditches along the river to contain the water, it rose even higher. The water rushed down as if it were going through a chute. Finally, the water washed everything away. For 9 years, Gun fought the waters without success. As Gun began to lose hope of ever controlling the flood, an owl and a turkey visited him. They told him about Zhirang, a special kind of growing soil in the Jade Emperor's garden. If Gun could build a dam out of Zhirang, the creatures told him, it would grow with the rising water and save the people. Late one night, Gun stole a small amount of Zhirang from the Jade Emperor's garden. After taking it back to the Huang Valley, he became the architect of strong dikes and dams. Gradually, Gun's efforts contained the flood, and the people rejoiced. With the flow of the Huang River almost under control, the people of China began rebuilding their farms. As Yu grew, the village honored his family. He was going to marry the beautiful maiden Nu Jiao. Gun gave his blessing to the arrangement, and the families began their celebration. But then the Jade Emperor discovered Gun's theft of Zhirang. In his outrage, the Empress sent the fire warrior Zhu Rong to punish Gun. Zhu Rong brought fire and fury down upon the village. The flames around Zhu Rong's face and glittering sword nearly blinded Gun and Yu. The heat of his rage almost burned their skin. They smelled burnt earth and smoking wood everywhere. Gun fought bravely for hours, but in the end, Zhu Rong killed Gun and destroyed his family's farm. Zhu Rong then gathered up all the stolen Zhirang. He attacked mountains, reducing them to ordinary stones. His thunderous blows echoed through the village. The broken boulders rained down from the sky, blocking streams and making the floods even worse. Once again, flooding forced the people to flee into the mountains. With great sorrow, Yu laid his father to rest on a high mountain top. He made a metal plaque to mark the grave. The message carved into the memorial not only honored Yu's father, but included Yu's vow to continue his father's work. Yu swore to control the river's waters and bring relief to the people. Yu explained to Nu Jiao that their wedding would have to wait until the flood was controlled. He offered to release her from their marriage promise, but she refused. "I will wait," Nu Jiao declared. "Your duty must come before our happiness." Yu bowed deeply in gratitude. "I will not rest until our people are safe," he said. With that, Yu began his labors. Yu realized that the flood could be controlled only by draining away the waters of the Huang. Yu strapped his father's antique iron staff to his side. He used this ancient rod to dig channels in the river and break holes through the mountains to lower the floodwaters. The iron staff came to represent Yu's service. People who saw Yu's staff bowed their heads in respect. Yu asked the dragon Yinglong for help. With his long tail, Yinglong drew a line that pointed toward the east. Yu saw that this path would release the Huang's waters toward the sea. He used this path to guide him as he dug a canal. For 13 years, nothing could distract Yu from his efforts. He was so dedicated to his task that he did not take any time off, even to meet with Nu Zhao. For this reason, Yu became a model of duty and service to the greater good for all the people in China. Yu gathered thousands of people to help him. Year after year, Yu dug canals and cut chutes through the mountains. Finally, Yu succeeded when the great Huang River flowed to the sea. As the water drained away, Yu directed the river's channel so that the rich soil remained on the floor of the valley. The Yellow River Valley became some of China's best farmland. As the waters were flowing away, Yu discovered that his father Gun had not been killed. Instead, he had become a dragon-like fish. He had even worked beneath the water to help Yu carve the channels through the rocks. Best of all, Yu and Nu Zhao were finally able to marry. As they celebrated their wedding, Gun slapped the water of the Huang River with his giant tail in farewell. He then dove deep beneath the waves, digging far beneath the surface of the earth, where he rests at peace, even today.